If you're looking to start an insurance agency and get up to 10,000 fast without having employees, then I'm going to show you the steps that I would take to do so. And we're not going to go into the super high-end details of step one, you got to get the LLC registered. Step two, you got to get an E&O policy. Step three, we're going to go dive in just the major surface level points that are going to get you there quickly. No fluff, let's dive in. The first section that I would start is pick your niche or niche. You have to know what you're going to be selling, because if you're selling home, auto, all of the things, it's going to slow you down from knowing all of the pieces. That being said, we still do it ourselves. I have an agency that we do home, auto, commercial, motorcycles, boats, buildings, and we do a lot of commercial trucking. We do a lot of deliveries and installations, and we've grown really heavily on that. I think that's a good thing to do if you have time. But in this case, we're trying to go fast. So pick the one thing that you want to focus on and go after it heavily. Auto insurance, you're going to have to learn home. It just comes with it, because half the people you talk to want home and auto together, and half the companies that you work with want them together. The other part is the longevity of keeping that customer is really good, but you're fighting every other insurance agent for the home and auto. So it might make more sense for you to go after something like motorcycle or boat insurance, something that is not necessarily seasonal depending on where you live, but something that can help you grow quickly. The next step is you have to get appointments. That's essentially carriers that allow you to sell with their brand. And to do that, in today's current state in 2025, possibly into 2026, it's very difficult to get those appointments. Not all the companies are really opening up right now, and they don't necessarily want more carriers or companies selling their product, especially if you're new, because they don't see the history that you've had. And so building that rapport essentially takes time. That's where you're going to join something called an MGA. That's a managing general agency. It's also known as a network or a cluster. It's a company that has hundreds of agents that they work with, and they have carriers that support those agents. And what that does is that allows you to sell with their brand on top under your name most of the time. Sometimes it's their name. It's a little tricky depending on if you get the appointment and they still share it if you don't get the appointment. So you have options. The three things that you need to be careful with that is, one, you need binding authority. You need to be able to write the policy today. Me submitting a quote and then waiting 3 days, getting it back, and then submitting the payment and then getting that back, it's a pain. It's not worth joining a company that forces you to go that route. Two, you need to make sure that there's no big exit clause. If you're having to pay a large fee to leave them, I don't mind if I pay a fee to join them. That's something that I personally do with some agencies. We have a wait list in the description below if you're interested. We're testing the waters of working with agents. But to do so, most of those companies will charge a startup fee, kind of like joining a franchise, but it's different, but essentially very similar. You're getting their knowledge, their experience, some of their tools, and having that available. Step three is to start marketing. Your biggest problem you're going to run into is marketing. Yes, the first 90 days is easy, because every friend, every family member, anyone you know, if you start telling them, hey, I'm doing insurance, I'd like to do a practice quote with you, and then just collect like 6 different things. You need their name, their address, their date of birth, and the vehicles that they have. If you get that, you can start quoting the auto or the motorcycle or the boat or whatever that is, and not necessarily have all the data. You're kind of just throwing in preliminary thoughts like, hey, I think this is the case, and then following up with them and saying, hey, what does this look like? Most people will say, oh my gosh, this rate's really good. And they'll say, okay, let's join this and let me get the rest of the data later. But it's at least creating a low barrier for them to at least work with you, and they're training you. They're helping you learn the software and learn all of the pieces to get there. The beauty of those is there's no obligations for friends and family. We're not looking to hard sell them. We're just looking for the practice, which turns into customers. They want to support you and help you grow. So those first 90 days are going to be simple as far as you doing that type. Now, after the first 90 days, I'd say people hit a brick wall, because now you've got nobody to talk to. You've talked to friends, you've talked to family. Some will come back 6 months later. Some will come back a year, 3 years later. But in the meantime, how do I get more clients as quickly as possible? Our goal is to get our first 50 clients. I can't do numbers on my hand, but I can sell insurance. The first 50 clients as quickly as possible. And the next step is to create content. Social media marketing is probably the fastest way for you to get clients. It's essentially showing people that you're knowledgeable. And if you're doing a niche, let's say motorcycle insurance, you're going to be knowledgeable very quickly. You're going to learn a little bit as you go, but 90% of it, you're probably going to learn in the first month. The best way, in my opinion, is to do YouTube and just teach people what you find that people are asking about. Do research on what people are looking for online. If you only sell in a specific state, then try to keep it to that and just create content that's going to draw people to you. Share it with friends, share it with family, ask them to share it, get them to just put your name out there. And before you know it, people are going to start being referred into you as quickly as possible. After that, let's start networking. Go to your local community, start to see if you can join the Facebook group of your local home association. Start putting out there that you work with that. Join all the motorcycle clubs if you're doing motorcycle insurance, boat clubs if you're in the boat insurance, all the local ones that you can think of. If you don't have one, create one. Now that's going to take some more time, but start to get people to join those, to talk about boats, talk about motorcycles, and then you become the insurance person. Usually pick 2 to 3 methods that you think that you can grow with that'll be low cost. Yes, if you have money, just purchase leads. It's a little bit harder to sell, but you're on the phone, you're learning, you're talking, you're doing all those steps that take that to get there, and that's going to help you excel that much faster. Now, there are tools that are going to help you speed this up. I just made a video that goes over how to run your agency if I was to start over, what type of technology I would use. That video here is going to be very helpful. If you want to know the specifics on how to get to the 10,000, I actually break that down in the exact percentages on the average that you'd be looking at. That video is going to help you get there as well. Let me know what your thoughts are, if there's any switches or changes that you would do in the comments below. Otherwise, I'm Mark W. Flockhart. I'll see you soon.